all right, calm down, listener. Okay, calm down. There's enough of me to go around, okay? I understand. The demand for the read is high, okay, and I can't keep up. You're listening to the NeverFap Deluxe Daily. That was the monologue! And here's the theme tune! Ah! That was the sexy monologue. I hope you liked it. There were elements of sort of, surreal acting there. I really sort of captured the character. It's a desperate man. He's sort of going through a hard time, a divorce even. And, little Timmy's there and he saves him. Talking about my love life, obviously not with little Timmy, but, with my, I guess I'm divorced. Anyway, with my right hand, because I like to whack a fat one out, you're listening to the NeverFap Deluxe Daily. My name is Julius Reed, and this is our first segment. It's called The Checkup! The topic! That's not the one! The Checkup! The Checkup! Touching the wrong buttons there on the show. Oh, talk about a good time. The Checkup, where myself, Daddy Dr. Reed, comes at you, the listener. Obviously, you're struggling. You're like mid-fap. You're like touching your willy or, your dank vagina. I don't know what kind of sick thing you're doing down there. And, you're sort of going away at it. And then, now you're listening to the podcast. You're like, all right, I want to recover. I'm here for the checkup. Julius Reed, checking up on you, struggling person. You've got like the meth teeth and stuff. You're like, I haven't not wanked in days. And I'm coming here to say, I'm putting a blanket around you, comforting you, throwing you in my dungeon, my sex dungeon. All right, there's no sex dungeon. How are you coping with life? That's actually what I'm here to actually ask you about. How are you doing? Are you doing okay? Are you living your best life? Are you kind of like one of those commercials where it's like, and like you're all happy and stuff? I hope that is the case, because actually, no, I don't, because then you wouldn't need to listen to the show. You'd be happy, be miserable, sad. So did you meditate today? Meditation is important if you want to be your best self, as I was referencing earlier. Meditation is what helps you remain calm and aware and in control of your mind. Ooh, creepy. Exercise also important as well. Get those, you want to be like Arnie ripped. You want to have like the big arms, big legs, big schlong. I do weight workouts with my penis. It kind of just stretches it, but, foreskin is desirable in all cases. Did you remain calm? Did you remain aware of your senses, aware of who you are? Most importantly, aware of your behaviors. Let's put Discord out of its misery. Because if you heard that, which, I think we all did. We were all there. Some of us were more here than there. So what are you going to do differently as well? That's an important thing for you to think about. Because if you're not changing, well, then you're staying the same, which is fine. Maybe your mental health routine is working for you. Maybe you're liking meditating, before bed at night. That's what I do personally. I know when I was meditating 3 times a day, that was like even better, but, time's an issue. So you got to figure out what it is that you want to achieve with your mental health. That is the checkup. The checkup. The checkup, which brings us to the topic. Thank you, topic header. That's suspenseful. Oh, there's a man with a gun, and he's about to shoot your child. But Julius, press the wrong sound effect. More shinderu. And that's kind of like what it's like being money shotted by me. It's just sort of surreal pain, and then it's like, where am I? And next thing you know, you're missing a limb and a kidney, and it's like, that was kind of sexual. The topic is. You don't realize you have a problem until you attempt recovery. That's what we're talking about. This isn't really so much a discussion as it is sort of, a piece of perspective that I'd like to share with you. And, maybe it's something that you're experiencing yourself. You kind of thought, I'll do this as a joke, or I'll do this as sort of like a little challenge, because my friends are doing it. So I thought I might give it a go. And then you attempt it. It's like, oh my God, this is actually like incredibly difficult. A lot of people can't go a day. That's I guess that's not uncommon. It's definitely not normal in the sense of like, well, you're an addict. Addiction's not normal. That's sort of an interesting thing is like people are like, well, all my friends masturbate and, they watch porn. And it's like, just because other people do it doesn't make it normal. We're trying to aspire for something higher, and not even higher, but something normal. Coping without addictive behaviors is normal. So yeah, it's sort of an interesting thing as well with coffee, because a lot of people are addicted to coffee and not happy about it. But it's such a common thing that it's like, well, it's normal. It's like, well, no, addiction's not normal. It's in fact an incredibly irrational behavior. So yeah, basically, a lot of people don't realize how difficult it is until they attempt it. Of course, referring to recovery. And I think on a subconscious level, we know this. And I think that's kind of why a lot of people don't even attempt to recover, because they know it's going to be hard and they know they're addicted, but they've maybe come to acceptance. Maybe they've accepted that, well, this is how it is. Now, I guess what I want to tell those people is that it's not so much that you're stuck in this way. It's just that this is what you've taught yourself. Learning to cope with masturbation and learning to cope with porn, that is essentially, that is the coping mechanism you've taught yourself, often from a young age. And so you basically don't know other ways to cope. And that's all it is, recovery. It is, recovery is so much more than just, a few words. But recovery is very much about replacing unhealthy coping mechanisms, of course, talking about masturbation and porn use, with healthy coping mechanisms. Exercise, meditation, a huge one. And, remaining calm in general so that you don't lose your mental balance, so that you're on top of your mental health and you're kicking ass. That was very American of me, blowing up a small village to take their oil. Of course, I'm an Australian, for those who don't know. And what's with all these people thinking I'm British? Everyone has thought I'm British. It's like, oh, you have a British accent. I'm really good with accents. It's like, you're not, because my accent is not British. It's not British. Or is it British? Oh, hello, I'm a British person. Okay, I'm terrible with accents. I'm terrible at giving accents. You're terrible at hearing accents. So it all works out in the end. So yeah, a lot of people don't approach recovery because they know it's hard. And yeah, it comes down to the coping mechanisms. It's not that it's hard to give up. It's just that it's like learning a new skill again. So, for example, speaking Russian, assuming you're not Russian or anything, if it's Russian, it's like, it's awkward because you can speak Russian. But, speaking Russian is difficult if you don't speak Russian, because you don't know how to speak Russian. It's like you wouldn't know what to do. It's the same thing with these new learning behaviors. If you've never, I was going to say masturbated, if you've never meditated before, it's going to be hard. And you're going to find it hard to overcome your addiction, especially in those early stages, because you won't have a skill to replace, a coping mechanism to replace your unhealthy coping mechanism with. So, yeah, that's all it is. It's not that it's hard, it's that we're learning new skills from scratch. And that's daunting for a lot of people. Especially, I think that's why people fall into this whole rut of like, oh, well, I'm so focused on productivity and I don't have time to meditate because, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, you don't understand, because once you overcome your addiction, you'll have way more time and you'll be way more productive than you were, if you've got time to masturbate, you've got time to meditate. And if you've got time to listen to this podcast, you've definitely got time to masturbate. And if you've got time to masturbate, you've got time to donate to NeverFap Deluxe with credit card details that you may or may not own. Go out there, steal a credit card, give it to the Reed, just saying. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Especially it's like your parents' credit card and they're like, what? Where's all this money going to this NeverFap Deluxe? And then you explain how you're into tranny porn and stuff, and it's just awkward. It's a fail. So yeah, don't fall into that trap. So yeah, we're learning a new skill from scratch, and that's why it is difficult. But not difficult in the sense of impossible, but more just like we're unfamiliar. If you've never done Russian before, well then, hey, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Struggle, die, yeah, anyway, sorry for punching you twice. So that's basically what this is about. You don't realize how hard recovery is. I'm here to tell you that it's hard because you need to learn new skills, and that's cool. It just takes time. You don't master meditation in one day, unless if you do. Of course, I did, because I'm a champion. Oh, yes. So that was the topic, which brings us to everyone's favourite segment, the viewer mail!
The viewer mail.
Of course, going at it aggressively, kind of like a broken chainsaw. It's like, oh, when's he going to spin his chain next? That's correct. The viewer mail, today's viewer mail comes from Andrew Gray from Ibadan, Nigeria. A lovely, lovely place. I used to live there as a kid, and most of my working life, decided to come to Australia. I have no idea where this is. Andrew says, "Hey, Julius, I think you are the best person ever. Thank you, Andrew. I think you're pretty cool too. I've unfortunately developed a severe case of wanker's cramp from masturbating far too much, and yet I simply can't stop masturbating due to my porn addiction. What should I do? Delicious Daddy Reed! I approve of you calling me Delicious Daddy Reed. Of course, Andrew must be over the age of 18. Otherwise, that would make me a pedophile. Andrew, unfortunately, it may look like the only way to help you is by cutting your hands off. That's the only proven way, really, to stop masturbation and definitely porn addiction. And in fact, it's the only known cure for wanker's cramp, aside obviously from stopping masturbating. But as everyone knows, masturbating is perfectly healthy. It's healthy, even more so than meditation and exercise. So wanker's cramp, obviously very difficult, but you're going to have to basically cut your hands off to deal with it. And let's be honest, no one really uses their hands anyway. They're just the weird clumpy bits at the end of your arms. Am I right? Am I right, guys? Yeah, I'm right. So this is where you laugh. So you're like, oh, Julius, take my money. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then I provide a donation link, and then viewers obviously can get what they want. This is a fail already. This is a fail viewer mail. I reckon like 50% of them are good. I just don't have the confidence to deliver this one. Usually, it's all about conviction. It's like, oh, will he get into the character? No, not today. Not today, my friend. Yeah, I don't, this is continuing on from the arms bit. I don't even remember the last time I even used those useless things anyway. Now, feet. There's something I can get on board with. So obviously, arms are dumb. So you never see a pervert develop a severe hand fetish, do you now? You sicko, you weird hand-loving freak. I don't even remember what the original viewer mail was. I'm just sort of making fun of this guy. But Andrew, have you tried cramping your hand further? Maybe you can develop some kind of immunity to it, allowing you to effectively masturbate forever. Alternatively, maybe I'd be down for masturbating you. I can use my hands, maybe even my mouth, if I'm busy writing a shopping list of whatever it is I do in my spare time. Call me, I'll be waiting. All right, that viewer mail was terrible. I don't even know what half the things were that I wrote. I just had no conviction. I just was not, my heart wasn't into it. I was kind of like, it's an okay viewer mail. But that's okay, because it brings us to the end of the show. Yeah, baby. I hope you learned about something. Masturbating. Recovery being difficult. That helps. Check us out on Facebook, all that stuff. Reddit, Discord, have fun. Be safe.